Let's talk about public criticism for various actions and decisions of the president throughout U.S. history. Several presidents have faced significant public criticism for various actions and decisions. Here are some of the most notable controversies. Welcome to our deep dive into the controversies and scandals that have shaped U.S. presidential history. Let's explore some of the most notable cases and their outcomes. First, we have Richard Nixon and the infamous Watergate scandal. Involving a break-in at the Democratic National Committee headquarters and a subsequent cover-up by the Nixon administration, this scandal rocked the nation. Nixon resigned in 1974 to avoid impeachment, making him the only U.S. president to resign. Next, Bill Clinton faced impeachment for perjury and obstruction of justice related to his affair with White House intern Monica Lewinsky. Despite the controversy, Clinton was acquitted by the Senate and completed his second term. The decision to invade Iraq in 2003 under George W. Bush, based on the belief that Iraq possessed weapons of mass destruction, led to widespread criticism and protests. The war resulted in significant loss of life and destabilization in the region. Barack Obama faced criticism for the attack on the U.S. consulate in Benghazi, Libya, in 2012, and the subsequent handling of the incident. Multiple investigations were conducted, but no direct wrongdoing by Obama was found. Donald Trump was impeached twice during his presidency. First, in 2019, for abuse of power and obstruction of Congress related to his dealings with Ukraine. He was acquitted by the Senate. Then, in 2021, for incitement of insurrection following the Capitol riot on January 6th. Again, he was acquitted by the Senate. Andrew Johnson's opposition to Reconstruction policies and his veto of civil rights legislation led to his impeachment by the House of Representatives. He was acquitted by the Senate by just one vote. Ronald Reagan's administration secretly sold arms to Iran and used the proceeds to fund Contra rebels in Nicaragua, which was illegal. Several administration officials were convicted, but Reagan himself was not impeached. James Buchanan's handling of the Utah War, a confrontation between the U.S. government and Mormon settlers in Utah, was widely criticized for misunderstandings and mismanagement. Before becoming president, Chester A. Arthur was linked to the Customs House scandal, accused of corruption and favoritism in the New York Customs House. This scandal tainted his reputation when he became vice president and later president. Herbert Hoover faced immense criticism for his handling of the Great Depression. His policies were seen as inadequate, making him a symbol of economic failure. John Tyler's efforts to annex Texas faced significant opposition and were controversial. The annexation led to tensions with Mexico and contributed to the Mexican-American War. During his first presidential campaign, Grover Cleveland faced a scandal when it was revealed he had an illegitimate child. Despite the public outrage, he admitted to the affair and was still elected. Woodrow Wilson faced significant criticism for his efforts to establish the League of Nations. Many in the U.S. opposed joining the League, leading to a major political battle. Lyndon B. Johnson faced controversy over the Gulf of Tonkin incident, which led to the escalation of the Vietnam War. Questions about the legitimacy of the incident and the subsequent expansion of U.S. involvement in Vietnam led to widespread protests. Thomas Jefferson's Embargo Act of 1807 aimed to punish Britain and France by halting American trade with all foreign nations. The act was highly unpopular and caused economic hardship, seen as an overreach of executive power. The Teapot Dome scandal involved the secret leasing of federal oil reserves by Secretary of the Interior Albert Fall in exchange for bribes. Although Harding was not impeached, the scandal tarnished his presidency. Thomas Jefferson had a long-term relationship with Sally Hemings, one of his slaves, and fathered several children with her. This scandal was revealed years later and remains a subject of historical debate. The whiskey ring scandal involved a network of whiskey distillers and government officials who defrauded the federal government of taxes. Although Grant was not personally implicated, his administration faced significant criticism. These scandals and controversies illustrate the complexities of presidential leadership and the scrutiny that accompanies the highest office in the land. Thank you for joining us on this historical journey. Liked this? Smash that like button, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram and YouTube at 99rights_online for more legal quickies.